Alrighty, let's get started with Module 3, Lesson 36, the problem set. And in this lesson, we are going to multiply two-digit numbers by two-digit numbers using four partial products. So let's get right to it. All right, for number one, it says that in each of the two models pictured below, write expressions. Those are number sentences without the equal sign that determine the area of each of the four smaller rectangles. Well, let's look at this. Well, what do we have here? We have, well, I only see four here. There's four there. And then if I were to count these, there would be 10 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There'd be 10 there. If I count this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, there's 10 here. And then there's 2 here. Well, look. Well, here's the area model without the grid lines. So what we have here is really, well, these are 4 1s, so that's really 4 1s times 110. Okay. And what about in this box here? Well, that's just going to be 4 1s, and that's going to be times 2 1s. And what about this box over here? Oh, let's see. Let's look at the big box here. Well, that's 10, 110 times 110. 110 times 110. And then the last box here is going to be 110 times 2 1s. Okay. Well, let's see about over here. What do we have? Well, let's figure out what that looks like over here. That looks like it's going to be 4 times 10. That equals 40. And this is going to be 4 times 2, which equals 8. And this one's going to be 10 times 10, which equals what? Well, that's going to be 100. And then what about this one? Well, that's going to be 10 times 2, which is 20. Now, if I were to add all those four rectangles together, that's going to give me the answer to 14 times 12, which is coincidentally, if we look down here at B, it says that it's 14 times 12. This is really the expression there, 14 times 12. So what does that equal? Well, let's look at above. We're going to use the distributive property now, and we're going to rewrite the area as the sum, that's addition, of the areas of the four smaller rectangles. All right, well, let's do that. Well, if we did 14, the first part 14, we're going to do 4 times what? Well, you have to do, well, I see 4 up here. I see a 4 times 10, and I see a 4 times 2. So let's rewrite it that way. Let's rewrite it as 4 times 10. Okay. And well, we can do it either way. We can do 4 times 10 or 4 times 2 first. Well, let's do it the smaller one first. Let's go with 4 times 2. That's this section right here, or this section right here, same thing. Plus 4 times, let's see, 4 times 10, which would be this section here. Is this section right here. Okay. And then that's going to be plus, now 10 times, now we're looking at the box, the next box now, we're looking at this box here now, okay. Actually, we should actually look at the other box first. Let's look at this box here first. Okay, this box here. This box here, which is 10 times 2. And then lastly, we're going to look at the big box here. This one and this one. And that's going to be 10 times 10. Okay? And if we added all that together, which we didn't have to for this problem, but we would get 168 if you wanted to know the answer to that. We did not have to have the answer for that one. We were just filling in the partial products there. So let's go down to number 2. Okay. Now we're going to solve this one. We didn't have to actually solve the last one, but this one we're going to solve. Okay. So 14 goes on this side, so that's going to be 10. 14 has 1 10 or 10 and 4 ones here. 22 has 2 10s or 20 and 2 ones. And then we can record all these things. Well, what's 4 times 2 10s is going to be 8 10s or 80. And 4 times 2 is 8. Okay. And then we have 2 10s times 1 10, which is 200s or 200. Okay. And finally, we have 2 times 110, which is going to be 2 10s, which is 20. All right. So how do we record this? Well, let's record this by our smallest unit first, our 4 times 2. In essence, we're looking at this first, 4 times 2, and that's 8, which is the same 8 as this one right here. Okay, and then we can go ahead and look at, well, let's look at the 4 times this 2 here, which is actually 4 times 20. So where's our 4 times 20? Well, this right here is our 4 times 20. Our 4 times 20 is 80, okay? Then next we're going to look at the 1 here, but the 1 here is not actually a 1. The 1 is actually a 10. If we look at this one right here, this is actually a 10, and that's times 2. So it's actually 10 times 2, which is going to be 20, which is actually this one right here. And then lastly, we're looking at is going to be the 10 times 10, which is or 10 times 20, because what we're looking at now is this 10 here. It's not 2 times 1. This is 10 times 20. And 110 times 210 is 200s or 200. Now, if this seems a little confusing at first, it might be, but look at what we did. We just took all the parts of the area model, and that is our 4 partial products. Our 4 partial products, when we add them all up, we'll get 8. 8 and 2 is 10. That's a 0. That's a really weird looking 0. That should be a 0 there. But our answer should be 308. And there you go. And that's it for that side. And guess what? I'll catch you on the flip side. Up and welcome to the flip side. And for these, we're going to draw an area model to represent the following expression and record the partial products and solve. So we're going to do what we just did, but this time they're not going to have the box there for you. You're going to go ahead and make your own box. So we're going to do 25 times, do a box of 25 times 32. Okay, well, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so 25, so the 20 is going to be over on this side. We have 20 here and 5, that's our 25, and then 32 on the top going down here. So this is going to be 30 and then 2. And then in here we can just fill in the blanks. Now if we did the 2 smallest ones, the 1s times the 1s, that would be the 2 times 5, that would be the 10 there. And then we could do the 5 times 3 10s is 15 10s. Well, what's 15 10s? That's right, 150. And then we could do the 20 or 2 10s times 2, which is 4 10s. And what's 4 10s? You got it, 40. And then the last one here, we have 3 10s times 2 10s, which is 6, not 6 10s, 6. You got it, 600s. Well, what does that look like with partial products? Well, let's just bust a move and get that out over here. Did I actually say bust a move? Anyway, we got 25, and that's going to be times 32. What does that look like? Well, 5 times 2 is 10, so that's our smallest one there that we started with right here. Okay, that was that one. And then we're going to do 5 times 3, but it's not 5 times 3, it's 5 times 3 tens. And 5 times 3 tens is 15 tens, or 150. So there's our 150 there. And then we're going to do, let's see, they just do the next line here, and that's going to be our 2 times 2 tens, there's our 40. Okay, and then last our 3 times 2, which is 6, but not 6 tens, it's going to be 6 hundreds. Add all that stuff together, we get 0. 5 and 4 is 9, 1 is 10. 1 up here. 6, 7, 8, we get an even. Dun, 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 800. We get an even 800. All right, well, that's how we do 3. Before we do exactamationally the same, or the same way, so go ahead and hit the pause button and hit play when you're ready. All righty, how'd you do? Well, if you got 1,470, you did just fine. And remember, pause as necessary. Let's scroll down to the next two, or last two. And the last two simply say to visualize the area model. So you don't have to do an area model and solve, but we're going to definitely be using 4 partial products. You may sketch an area model if it helps. All right, well, let's see what we're doing here. Well, if we're doing 42 times 11, when we look at this, remember, we're going to start with the 2 here. So we're going to start over on the 2 right here. We're going to look at 2 times 1. Well, what's 2 times 1 is 2. Then we're going to look at the 2 times the other one here, but that's 110. What's 2 times 110 is 2 tens, or 20. So I'm recording the partial product, so that was that one. And next, we're going to then look at the 4. We're going to go 4, but that's not 4, it's 4 tens. So 4 tens times 1 is going to be 4 tens, or it's going to be 40. Okay, and then we're going to look at 4 tens times 110, which is going to be not 4 tens, it's going to be 400. 400 here. Now we just have to add all that up. We do that, we get 2, we get 6, we get 462. See if you can do that for the next one. Hit the pause button and hit play when you're ready. Alrighty, how'd you do? Well, if you got 506, you got it. And guess what? We've reached the end of the problem set. So, as always, I'll catch you next time, same place. Hasta la vista, baby. You're done for the day. But wait, it's not time to play. You need to do your homework. Anyway, catch you next time. Psst, the video's over. Get back to work.